Hi, and welcome back to Waiter There's More. As usual, you need information and we're here to help you. You have requested a video on what to say and phrases to use for guest interactions in a fine dining restaurant. We'll also cover upselling because that goes hand in hand with guest interactions. You're basically always upselling and creating regular guests. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video so we can help you even more. So let's get right to it. Welcoming guests. When guests arrive, welcome the guests. Introduce yourself. Leave your title out of it and pay them a compliment. Anything that's regarding their outfit, choice of colors, or hairstyle, for example. This will break the ice and get a conversation going. Pull out the chairs, take coats, and don't forget to smile. Keep the conversation going. How was your day? If they're dressed fancy, ask if they're going to the opera later. The more you talk to guests like this, the better you'll become at making conversation without effort. Upselling starts before or during you hand out the menus. The power of suggestion lies in the ability to shape perceptions, create expectations, and influence behavior without the individual being consciously aware of it. Just tell the guest your opinion about well-paired food and wine, and most of the time they'll just go with your suggestion. For example, it's Friday night, it's hot outside, so you can say this. Good evening, sir. Madam, I'm Julio. Nice to meet you. How's your day so far? I like your tan. Have you been to the beach? Pull out the chair for the ladies. Hand out the menus. By the way, Daniel in the bar, he's an artiste at making mojitos. Would you like to start with one while you look at the menu? Did you notice the suggestion? Obviously, you just change the script depending on the weather, season, if a bartender is working or not. If the guests are wearing tuxedos, suggest a dry martini. Like jokingly, Mr. Bond, dry martini, shaken not stirred? I promise you, they'll have a laugh, and if not a dry martini, they'll for sure have something else. Always address the guests with Mr. or Mrs. and their last name. It's usually written in the booking, and if not, just refer to them as Mr. and Madame. If it's a young lady, you can call her Miss. Madame is for married women only. Men are always called Sir, no matter the age or their marital status. I'm actually unsure what to say if your guests have different pronouns. I live in Sweden, so this is not yet the topic that is relevant here, but I'd probably just catch the name when I introduce myself, and if not, I'd just say, excuse me, or make eye contact and say, what would you like for the main course? So back to the script. Obviously, sense the room. If people seem to be in a bad mood, at this point, just keep the talk to a minimum. When you take the orders, suggest a starter by saying, the goat cheese salad is our most popular dish and is often followed by the confit of duck. Now you suggested two things. Most of the time, someone will go for your suggestion. This sets you up for selling wine later on. Write down the order. The person closest to the exit or entrance is always number one on your list. If it's a woman, I would typically encircle the number just so you know and you can inform your colleagues who ordered what. And if I'm busy with another table, my colleagues can now serve the food without have to ask the guests who had what. Suggesting and selling wine. Always offer two choices. Never the cheapest, always a medium expensive option and an exclusive wine. Point at the wines on the menu clearly so that the guest can see the wine. Refer to the cheap one as a lighter all-round type of wine that goes well with everything, and the expensive one as a more full-bodied, heavier option. This way, whatever the host chooses, he or she won't lose face in front of their guests and be embarrassed. If the host picks another wine that you don't suggest, just go with the flow and smile and say, excellent choice. The host just scored points with the guests, and you are one step closer to better tips. It's important to serve the drinks before the starters arrive. You might need to decant the wine depending on what type of wine it is. If they order white wine or rosé, be sure to bring an ice bucket with a stand to place next to the table. Show the host or the person who ordered the wine the bottle and introduce the wine with name and grape. The name and the grape just says on the bottle, so before you take it out, just read the label, and then you go out and you're prepared. Once they approve verbally or with a nod, proceed to opening the wine. We have another tutorial regarding how to open and pour wine, but just pour an ounce or a few centiliters in the glass so they can taste or smell the wine. Before pouring the wine for the rest of the table, always pour for the ladies first. By this point, the starters will be ready. Because you were smart and wrote the order down with numbers, you can remember who ordered what. It's typically very crass to just shout out, "Chicken, who had the chicken?" No, we know exactly who has what, and the guests won't be interrupted during their conversations while you put their plates down. More points for you. Make eye contact with the host, blink, and nod for a telepathic "enjoy your food" if they're having a conversation. If you work in a restaurant that requires you to present the food, then just stand in front of the table. After all the guests have their plates in front of them, they will notice you and direct their attention to you. Now's your time to speak. Point with your whole hand while explaining a specific dish. Repeat for mains and dessert. And when you're done, say "enjoy" or "bon appetit" or whatever it is in your native tongue. When everyone's finished eating, you may clear the table. Don't start clearing it while one person is still eating. This is very rude. You might be stressed about the next booking, waiting by the door, but I've got you on this, don't worry. If you have another area with sofas, you can suggest that the guests have a change of scenery and tell them that you have prepared a complimentary drink for them in the next area. Comp one small drink with their dessert if you're really stressed out and don't have time, and you can just do like half a portion. You can also tell the next table to hang out at the bar while you prepare their table, and also comp a small cocktail for them without apologizing, and let the first table remain seated until they're done. For example, "Please follow me," pull out bar chairs, or point to the sofa. Make eye contact with the host, blink and whisper, "This one's on the house." Excuse yourself by saying that you will go and prepare their table. If those guests are sitting in a sofa area and they don't have a bartender to talk to, just bring them a small generic cocktail. For example, a Cosmopolitan for ladies and a Negroni for gentlemen. Make sure to talk to the bartender before the shift so that he's in on it if you're taking his stock. Comping drinks is needed because you can make the guest feel like VIP simply by using suggestive talk. The bill, check, or "l'addition s'il vous plaît." Wait for the guest to ask for the bill. Sometimes they will signal with this gesture from afar. Nod and blink. He who asks for the bill shall have it. If the person who asked for the bill is in the restroom, then wait until he or she is back to the table. Never hand out the bill with just the paper. Always bring a small plate or a book that is used specifically for this purpose. This is so the guest can put cash or card in there. Don't stand around and wait for the money. Once you see that the book is closed on the table, usually they push the book away from them. Always bring back the change if it's cash. If it's a card payment, bring the machine to the guest and let the host follow the steps in the machine. You may turn around when it's time to punch the code in, so as not to stare at their PIN code. Until the guest stands up, don't bring them their coats or clear the table completely from the last glasses. Once they stand up, bring the coats, pull out the chairs and escort them to the exit and say thank you and have a great evening. This sums it up for this episode, and we hope that you found this video helpful, and please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thank you. See you next time. Hi there. In today's episode, we're going to go through a full service of a 3-course dinner with 2 guests here. Let's jump right in. Hey ladies, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
How was your trip here?
Very good, thank
Good?
you. Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Can I take your name, please?
Anderson?
Anderson for 2. Right this way, please.
Thank you.
Please. All right. Yeah. First time here?
Yeah.
Excellent, welcome. Let me get the menu for you for the drinks. I'll be right back. How was your day so far?
Very good, thank you.
Great. Nice to hear. This party of 2 have pre-ordered a 3-course dinner set menu together with the chef. So right now I'm heading over to pour the water and to take their drinks order. Did we find anything interesting, ladies?
I would like a glass of white wine, please.
Excellent. May I suggest a Riesling to go with your starter?
Sounds nice. Great. And I'll have a non-alcoholic apple cider, please.
Excellent.
Ja, det var gott. Så små bubblor. Men det är bra. Det kändes lyxigt. Thank you.
This is our homemade sourdough bread.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Sån här smart.
Your apple cider, non-alcoholic.
Thank you. Då kändes det som massor. Det var bara hela.
And the German Riesling. In this case, I poured from the left because I couldn't get around the guest. So instead of squeezing my way back from the guest, I would just pour from that side. So I fired their starters in the kitchen, and now I'm going to prep the table for the starters. That means for me removing the unused drinks glass. Okay, the lady will probably have another different wine for their main course, and I suspect that this guest also will have a different type of drink for the main course. So I'm leaving those glasses, but I'm taking the third one away. Before their starter arrives, I'm going to clear the table of any breadcrumbs. And I have this handy tool here to help me with the task.
That's cool.
It is, isn't it? It's very handy, silent. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have their starters here, and they have their drinks, they have had their bread, and I've cleared the table of unnecessary glasses and breadcrumbs. So now it's time to serve the starters. Ladies, your starters today will be a soup made out of Jerusalem artichoke with seared scallops and bleak roe with some dill and potato chips.
Wow, thank you.
There we are, ladies.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
How's everything so far?
So good.
Excellent. Can I get you some more bread?
No, thank
You're
you.
all right?
I'm fine.
Thank you, ladies. All done? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take their bread plates also because there will be no bread for the main course. Miss, your Chardonnay? You're fine for now, miss?
I'm fine, thank you.
Ladies, your main course. And today we're having grilled cod with fennel, parsnips and shrimps. And these are scallion tossed new potatoes and white wine sauce.
Det ska bli så gott. Ja, vi var faktiskt ute och åt på det här Kungstorget igår. Vid Avalon där. Och då tog vi också här dagens fisk. För vi lagar ju aldrig undan. Lagringen nästan. Perfect, thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. Enjoy, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are we doing here, ladies?
It was very nice. Really good. Thank you.
Excellent. Nice to hear. You know, all the collagen is in the skin.
Oh, so I should eat it.
I'm not saying you're lacking collagen. I'm just saying that it's a natural way of getting collagen into your body. Thank you.
Ja, men vad är det ändå? Margaret, ingenting.
Are we ready for desserts?
Ja, yes.
Yes? All right, I'll bring that right out for you. Would you like to have coffee?
Yes, please.
Yes? Decaf, I suppose?
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Would you like to have coffee?
Sure.
Yeah? Cappuccino, espresso?
Cappuccino would be nice.
Excellent. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Men tror du den här konferenstur eller vad det är liksom? Det var länge sedan man åt en sån här riktig dessert. Eller liksom så dessert. Verkligen.
And so ladies, a selection of our greatest hits. And this is chocolate mousse, blueberry panna cotta. No, sorry, blueberry cheesecake. This is a regular vanilla panna cotta. Tiramisu. And for you, miss, this is alcohol-free white chocolate mousse. And here we have salted caramel truffle and champagne truffle.
Wow.
I'll bring your coffee.
Thank you.
Black decaf coffee with milk on the side. And your cappuccino.
Thank you.
And if you like sugar, there will be some right there.
Thank you.
Enjoy, ladies. Which one was your favorite?
It was so good. I loved this one, I think. Or the tiramisu was perfect.
Great to hear. I'll tell the chefs.
Thank you.
We're okay with coffee and
Yeah,
such?
it's very nice. Thank you.
All set?
It was all so nice. Can we have a bill, please?
Certainly. There we are, ladies. I hope everything was to your
It
satisfaction.
was very nice.
Check so that everything is correct before. If it's ready, just tap to pay. Excellent. Thank you very much. I'll leave the receipt right there.
Thank you.
We would like to thank Satterhus for letting us film here today. Satterhus is a spa and conference hotel on the west coast of Sweden, and I, for one, love to personally visit here. Today we're going to learn how to open wine and to serve it to the guests, and in what glass we will be serving it to the guests. Let's get started. For today's video, I have the wonderful Emma with me, and she will be acting as a guest. First of all, we need to identify who the host is. Since Emma has chosen to go out on her own, she will be the host. Therefore, I will give the wine menu to Emma. There you go.
Thank you.
She will have a look at the menu, choose her food according to what she's in the mood for, and then she will ask me for what wine will go well with the food. I need to know what type of wine goes with what. But generally, we can say that white wine goes well with poultry, that's as in chicken and fish, or just vegetables, salad, things like that. And red wine will go well with meat, also poultry, and some heavy salads that contain a lot of cheese or a lot of fat sauces. Those are the general pairings you can expect. Okay, so Emma has chosen her food, and now she has some questions about the wine menu.
I would like the white fish, please. So what would you recommend?
I would recommend the Vouvray from France, and this is a very light and crispy wine made from green grapes. I don't have to go into that much detail, but I can just say that this will go well with her dish. And I know this because the restaurant has provided me with a food pairing manual. And when I'm going to serve this wine to the lady, I need to bring a few things with me. We have the wine itself, some water, and the wine glass that she will be drinking from. In this case, she'll be drinking from the white wine glass. So I can remove these two if they were already set on the table. The first thing I do when I get to the table is serve the water because she might be thirsty. And while I'm opening the wine, she can have a drink of water. I'm going to present the bottle to the host with the label facing the guest. And again, I will tell the guest about the grape, where it's from, and that will suffice. They will usually just nod or say, "Oh, thank you." Now, to open the bottle, I will place a napkin on the table, and with the label facing the guest, I will place it down on the table like so. I have my trusted opener, and with the knife, I will cut on the bottom lip and remove the foil around it. And the trimmings will go into my pocket for now. Then I'll take out the screw part of the opener and I will set it down in the middle. And from here on, there are 6 turns to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I can use the leverage from the first latch. That'll get me halfway through. And now for the second part. And use the leverage. And as I'm coming to the end of the cork, I will slow down and gently twist. Like that. And I'll just keep this for later. And now we're ready to pour. So now that I've opened the wine, I'm going to grab a napkin in my left hand because I'm right-handed. I will pour with my right hand. And while showing the label to the guest, I will pour just a small amount. I will twist the bottle and raise it and then wipe it. And while she is smelling the wine and tasting it, I will hold it like this, always presenting the wine to the guest.
It's very nice.
Approved. Great. So step number 2, if we have more guests here, I will serve the guests first and the host last. She ordered the wine and therefore she invited the other people to this party. So she will make sure that everyone has wine first and then she will receive. And I am an extension of her wishes in this visit. But since she's the only one here, we can just go ahead and pour the wine as usual to the guest. Twist and raise.
Thank you.
There is also a version where we can use this napkin, like so, and we can pour it like this. And we wipe it. This is white wine, so this needs to go in an ice bucket for it to stay cool throughout the dinner. And I will swing by and top up whenever that glass is beginning to become empty. When it starts to be empty, I will be there to top it up just a little bit. Okay? But this needs to go in ice right now. If we have red wine, we have an additional choice of glasses. Okay? So the smaller one is for white wine. The larger one is for red wine. And this big one is for Burgundy wines. And you need a bigger glass for Burgundy wines because they're very aromatic and you'll be able to swirl it more in the glass than, say, this small one. So the lady has ordered a bottle of red now. I'm presenting it to her.
Looks good.
Looks good. Exactly, that's the one she ordered. Now I'm placing it on the table, on top of a napkin, with the label facing the host. Now I am cutting open the bottom lip. And removing the foil, keeping it in my pocket for later. And with the screw part of the opener, I will twist it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Use the first latch to get halfway through, and with the second latch I will use the leverage, and I will slow down at the end and open it as silently as possible. This goes into my pocket. She has 2 different types of red wine glasses. This is an Italian wine, so we're only going to pour in the normal red wine glass. If she would have ordered a wine from Burgundy, this is the glass to pour in. However, if this bottle is an older vintage type wine, it's going to have a lot of sediment in the bottom. So we can't come in with the bottle and just juggle it around, because the sediment will have to be filtered through a filter so that it doesn't come into the wine when she drinks it. So we will decanter the wine that has sediment in the bottom. This is fairly easy to do. Still, with the label facing the guest, we will gently tip the decanter and just pour. Now, there's no specific pace to doing this, but we're decantering it so that the sediment remains in the bottle, and all the liquid that we have in the decanter will be free of sediment. So just as we're approaching the last bits of wine in the bottle, we gently stop. This part contains all the sediment. There's still a bit of liquid left, but the sediment is here. So from here on, every time we pour from the decanter, will be sediment free. And also, because of the exposure to more air, it will also taste better for the guest. And pouring from a decanter is really not that complicated. It's holding a napkin in your left hand, grabbing the decanter, and just pouring it like this. And she may now taste the wine.
I like this one, it's really nice.
Excellent, thank you. And we can proceed to pouring a healthy amount of wine in her glass.
Thank you.
And if she would have had guests at the table, we pour for the guests first and then for the host last. Now let me repeat that. The sediment is like residue from the bottling of the wine. So it's going to be the grape's skin inside of the bottle, and those are very bitter and do not taste good. So we need to keep it in the bottle. Decantering gets rid of the sediment from the bottle while exposing the wine to air, which makes the wine taste better. So we remove the bottle and we just keep the decanter with the wine at the table. This concludes our tutorial on opening and pouring wine. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll give us a like and please subscribe to our channel. Emma, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
She's going to drink everything now. Bye! I want to start off with a story of when I was working in a hotel and a guest said to us that he had a milk protein allergy. So somebody of the waiters thought that it was a good idea to give this guy some margarine for his bread. Now, margarine is made from vegetable oil, but it looks very similar to butter. So when going out with the margarine, they accidentally gave him the butter. And his reaction was loss of breath, so he couldn't breathe. We had to call the ambulance. Luckily, this guy made it, and there were no legal consequences to all of this. He was very nice and polite, and he's like, all right, mistakes have been made, but we'll disregard that. So we got lucky that time. But what we should have given him was olive oil to be 100% sure that he didn't get any milk protein. So today we'll be covering the different allergies and learning about how you can avoid situations like the one I just told you about. How dangerous are allergies? Well, people can die from allergic reactions. You don't want your guests to suffer. For one, they will not come back. Two, they might report you, and there will be legal ramifications. So the best thing to do is just to listen to them and not give them what they are allergic to. The severity of allergies varies a lot. I myself, I'm lactose intolerant, which means that if I drink milk, I need to go to the hospital. But if I eat some ice cream, I might get gases, and that's not so bad, but it can be uncomfortable if I'm on a spa weekend with my girlfriend and somebody gives me ice cream with lactose in. But I can eat lactose-free products. But people that have milk protein allergies, they can't have anything that's dairy or made from milk. Before we continue with the allergies, let me just quickly talk about our work uniforms. You can tell a lot about a person by just looking at what they're wearing. Sometimes the restaurants that we work in, they will provide us with shirts, and it's important that we keep those shirts clean and ironed, because otherwise it just looks like we're sloppy. We've partnered with Jeremy at 6 a.m. Work Shirts, and he's provided us with this shirt that's non-crease, which means that I don't have to iron it more than once, and it'll stay crease-free, and it is liquid repellent. Let me show you. Red wine, shirt. Look at all that wine I spilled on it, and it's still completely white. Let's do that again. And the shirt is really comfortable too. And like I said, it doesn't get creased, so it'll stay like this, even though if I try to scrunch it up, and it'll just stay ironed all the time. So we recommend this type of shirt, or this exact shirt. If you click on the link below and use the promo code WAITERTIPS, you'll get a nice discount on the shirts. And now, back to the video. The most common allergies are dairy or lactose, soy, nuts, gluten, or shellfish. So basically, shellfish is anything from the sea that has a shell. So prawns, lobsters, crabs. Nuts also include almonds, and some people can die from ingesting nuts or almonds. Gluten is everything that's made from flour. So typical things like bread, sauces that have gluten to make them thicker. So what you can replace that with is, for example, cornstarch or potato starch. So people that are allergic to eggs, for example, they can't have mayonnaise. So they need a different type of condiment or sauce to go with their food. And you should know your menu so that you can easily tell the guests what they can safely eat. So whenever you have guests in your restaurant, always ask them for allergies. Do we have any allergies? And they will hopefully tell you, and you need to write all the orders down. This is important because the ticket to the kitchen, if it's specified, you can then prove in a court of law that you were not negligent. And thus you'll not have to go through a court process. So when you write down your ticket, number the people on the ticket. For example, if there's 4 people sitting at this table, the first person is sitting here, second here, third, fourth. So if this person is allergic to lactose, on your notepad, you write first 1, 2, no lactose for this person. If the 4th person is allergic to gluten, then on the 4th line, number 4, you write no gluten. You give that ticket to the kitchen. Some restaurants have written down all the allergies in the description of each dish. For example, if you are serving trout with a dill mayonnaise, it will say contains eggs. This is important because then the guest can easily read it for themselves and just pick something else or ask you, can I get the trout without the mayonnaise? Okay, easy. And then you can ask the guest if they would like something else instead of the mayonnaise. For example, a white wine sauce or something like that. If the guests do have a special request, for example, they want the trout, they don't want white wine sauce, and they don't want the mayonnaise, you need to go to the kitchen and ask the chef what they can give the guest that works with the food instead. It'll just take a few more minutes extra, but you'll be sure that the guest won't get any allergens into their body. Cross-contamination happens when, if I'm cutting bread that contains gluten and I have a guest that wants gluten-free bread, I'm not going to use the same cutting board and the same knife to cut the gluten-free bread. Okay, I need a new knife and a new cutting board. The same goes with everything in the kitchen. If they are using a bowl for mayonnaise that contains eggs and they are going to whip up something new, they need a new bowl and a new whisk, or else that will be cross-contaminated. So people that are allergic to eggs can't eat. So what happens if someone has an allergic reaction? You can easily tell if someone starts getting rashes, big red rashes, or they just can't breathe. The thing you have to do is, first of all, you have to call the emergencies. In the US, it's 911. Here in Sweden, it's 112. And after that, you have to stay with the guest. They have to lay down and you have to elevate their legs so that all the blood goes to the vital parts of the body, the brain. Usually, guests will have an EpiPen with them, also called an epinephrine auto-injector. And you need to stick them in the leg with this. Stay with the guest until the ambulance arrives. And you should keep your ticket just to make sure that you can prove to the police that, okay, I took all the necessary precautions to make sure that the guest did not receive any allergens into their body. But this sometimes happens anyways, because If you're allergic to shellfish and you have a drop on you from another guest at the same table, you'll start to swell up and you won't be able to breathe. This is super serious. There was once a dishwasher that I knew. He was washing the dishes. He had rubber gloves on him. But he came into contact with shellfish. Even though he had gloves, his whole body starts to swell up. So it's quite serious. What legal responsibilities do you have? Okay. If a guest has an allergic reaction, you need to prove that you weren't negligent. Okay, that you took all the necessary steps to prevent an allergic reaction. Having guests coming into your restaurant that are allergic to different things and never having allergic reactions build a massive trust with your guests. So many times I've been out and ordered lactose-free food, but I still got a bit of lactose in my food and I never go back there. I don't sue them, but I never go back because I don't trust them. So to summarize, first of all, ask the guest if they have any allergies. If they do have allergies, write them down. Go to the chef and ask if he has any replacement for the allergens. This also makes the guest feel valued and important, and you'll likely score a bigger tip if you seem concerned and actually care about them not having an allergic reaction in your restaurant. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any more questions regarding allergies, please write in the comments and I'll answer for you. Today we'll be talking about why it's so important to serve different wine in different glasses. I know it can be hard to know exactly what glass to use. And today I'm going to talk about the most common glasses and what you should know when you serve white wine, red wine, and sparkling wine. Do you know the difference? It's easy, and I'm going to tell you. The glass we're going to use today is from a company called Home of S, and I find them really beautiful, and I have actually worked with these glasses back in 2015. I started as a waiter and bartender at a hotel in Gothenburg, Sweden. In a French-style hotel, Hotel Pigalle. It wasn't only me that found the glasses beautiful, but also the guests. I actually caught a lot of guests trying to steal the glasses after their visit. I could hear the crystal glass soft clinks from the guests when they would say thank you and try to leave. During this time, you could only find the glasses in the hotel, so I totally understand some of the guests trying to take them with them because of their unique look. Good news is, these once exclusive glasses can now be bought thanks to Home of S in their web shop. Let's delve into the magic that sets each glass apart. The champagne flute. Slender and elegant, perfect for a celebration. This glass holds 180 milliliters and a bottle should serve 6 glasses with 125 milliliters per glass. The evolution of the champagne glass from early glasses used for beer and cider to the development of the coupe and the flute reflects changes in drinking culture and glassware design. The coupe, introduced in the 19th century, wasn't originally for champagne but symbolized high status. The flute, emerging in the 1700s, was designed to preserve champagne's carbonation and aroma. The white wine glass, with its gentle curve, cradles the delicate aromas and flavors, enhancing every sip. A standard white wine bottle, which holds 750 milliliters, typically yields about 5 glasses, assuming a serving size of 150 ml per glass. This estimate helps in planning the amount of wine needed for events or dinners. The white wine glass has evolved to enhance the sensory experience of drinking white wine. Traditionally, these glasses are designed with a narrower bowl compared to the red wine glasses. This shape is intended to maintain cooler temperatures and concentrates the aroma profiles typical of the white wines. The development reflects a deeper understanding of how glassware can influence the taste and enjoyment of wine, showcasing the interplay between form, function, and the subtleties of white wine's delicate flavors. The red wine glass, a broader and more generous, a vessel for the rich and complex notes. Red wine glasses are designed with a wider bowl to allow the wine to breathe, enhancing the wine's flavors and aroma. This design choice reflects the understanding that red wines, often denser and richer than white wines, benefit from increased air exposure. The larger surface area, exposed to air, allows for the bouquet to fully develop, enriching the drinking experience. Over time, the design of red wine glasses has been refined to cater to the specific characteristics of different varieties of red wine, emphasizing the importance of glass shape in wine appreciation. The Burgundy cup, with its ample bowl, captures the bouquet of the wine, offering a truly immersive experience. The Burgundy glass, designed with a wide bowl and large opening, is tailored for the unique characteristics of Burgundy wines, both red and white. This shape allows for ample air contact, which helps to release the rich aromas and the flavors of the wine, particularly in the delicate complex notes found in the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay from the Burgundy region. The design emphasizes the tasting experience, enhancing the wine's texture and taste profile, making it a favorite among wine enthusiasts for enjoying these specific varieties. We want to thank Home of S today for sponsoring this video and giving us these beautiful glasses so that we can educate you to become better waiters. You can order these wonderful glasses in the link below. If this video was helpful, please hit the subscribe button and smash the like button on your way out. Thank you. Today, we have a catering assignment, and the lovely people that we're catering for have agreed for us to film their dinner. They'll be having a 3-course dinner, and first up we'll be setting the table with a tablecloth. And traditionally, when you use a tablecloth, you need to direct the line towards the nearest exit. Okay, that is by tradition. And we're just going to check so we have the same length on all sides. Okay, looks good. And now we'll proceed with the tablecloth that will be on the top layer. And the same goes with this. The line will go towards the nearest exit. Now it's time to polish the cutlery before the guests arrive. So I have hot water in a plastic container. I have a tray here, so if I accidentally spill water, it'll stay on the tray and not spill on the table. I also have a clean cloth, which I'm going to polish the cutlery with. And I have a plate and a napkin in which I will place the cutlery inside of. Okay, so I am folding it 2 times. Like this. And then I'm folding it this way. I need to first polish all of the cutlery. So I'm starting with the knives. I'm putting them in hot water. These have been pre-washed in a machine, so they are clean, but I'm just making sure that all the fingerprints disappear from the cutlery. So that's why I'm doing that last polishing of the cutlery right now. So the way I'm working is I'm getting everything wet like that, and I'm holding it with one hand, and with the other I'm polishing it all the way, as you can see, and it comes out without fingerprints, and I'm just inserting it there. So I can do quite a large batch, and you can see that I can pick up a lot of speed this way. And now the next part, I'm gonna let them heat up a little bit. Now the forks are good to go. So this technique is very efficient, and it goes really fast to polish this way. And I think you get the point, so we're just gonna skip the rest of these, and you're gonna see the finished result instead when I set up the table with the cutlery. So I've polished all the cutlery, and now I'm going to set up all the guests' covers. And I'm wearing white gloves, cotton gloves, so that I don't get any fingerprints on the cutlery. So there are 5 guests attending this party. So I have 5 plates here. And I will place the plates first, like this. Okay, and now I'm making sure that there is 1 inch from the edge of the table to the plate. And I can just go around with my thumb, and it's about 1 inch on each place. There we go. And it's always 1 inch from the edge of the table to the plate. The fork, I'm placing it here. The knife here for the main course, and I'm thinking about 1 inch there as well from the edge of the table. And I just 1 inch is usually like a thumb width. And now for the starter. And for the dessert, all the forks like that. And as I drop them, I more or less get the distance from the table correct the first time. And now I go all the way back. I double check the distance. Now for the starter fork. Now the starter knives. For the bread, I have small plates I will place there. Actually, this will not fit on this round table, so I'm going to change the positioning to here. To the left of the forks. And now I'll do the butter knives, and the butter knives need to be facing inwards and be placed like so. And this is because you would normally grab your bread with your right hand and you would butter it with your left. Like that. So now we're doing the wine glasses. I'm starting with the red wine glasses because they will be in the center. So it's just easier for me to go off the center first. Make sure your glasses are polished. White wine glasses. And they've also ordered sparkling white wine to start with. And then last of all, the water glasses. Now this is a round table, so here at the end, it is a bit tight, but we can just move the red wine glasses just a little bit. And we can get a bit more space out of it. I mean, the most important part is that the guest is happy with their experience. Okay, good. So essentially, we've set 5 covers in 5 minutes. Everything was clean. I did polish the cutlery, but that took about a minute. And yeah, we're all done. So the thing is that the guest, they start with the starters on the outside and they work their way inwards. Okay, and the guests are about to arrive. I have a few finishing touches left. I've added a water carafe and 2 candles. I'm waiting with lighting the candles. And the guests have expressed the guests want paper napkins. So I've just folded that in half and I will just place it like so on the plate. And I made sure to wash my hands prior to touching the napkins. All right, and now the guests will be here momentarily. The guests were happy with the dinner. They ate basically everything, and now they're going out to party. And our work here is done. I'm going to clear the plates, fold the tablecloths and return everything to the rental business. But I want to thank you for watching this episode. If you like our channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you have any wishes for upcoming episodes, please leave a few comments in the comment section below and just tell us what you would like to learn about and we'll do our best to accommodate. Okay, take care. Bye. I want to start by thanking you for commenting and requesting information. I read all of your comments and I will always strive to help you, so keep on commenting. For us to keep making videos, we'd love it if you could like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So ladies and gentlemen, due to popular demand, we'll be deep diving into tray carrying techniques in this episode. We'll talk about different glassware and offer advice on how to overcome difficult scenarios. As usual, we have time codes in our episodes, so just click on the corresponding part. Champagne glasses and how to carry loads of them. This is probably the hardest glassware to balance, but luckily we can make the whole situation easier by placing a wet towel around the foot. This technique is useful for all types of glasses that are top heavy. Let me demonstrate how I would do this. Firstly, place the weight in the back of the tray because it'll be easier to unload later. Next, place the towel around the glasses. So let me just load up the tray. You can see how thin the foot is. So I have the weight at the back of the tray and you see how I load them like this first. And as promised, I have a wet towel. So I just place the wet towel around the glasses. And this just gives me much more balance because the weight is now on the foot, because normally the glasses would be very top heavy. So with this on, I can now walk like this, and when I just have to serve one glass, I can just move the towel, put it down, and go to the next guest and repeat. So the towel helps us with the balance. If you don't have a wet towel, or your manager prohibits you from using one, then holding the tray with both hands will be effective, like this. If you can place the tray down on a shelf next to the table, or like a side table, then do that instead. It's better to place it on a table next to it or on the guest's table rather than dropping the whole tray of glasses, and then you can dispense the glasses 2 by 2. You will improve with time, so just do this in the beginning to not lose money by dropping champagne and breaking glasses. Next up, unevenly shaped glassware. Sometimes bartenders serve cocktails in fruits. Totally normal, but carrying them on a tray just raises the difficulty level to nightmare. The bowl is great for placing uneven glassware in it, and as you can see, the balance holds up really well. And you can go high, you can go low, go side to side. So just take a regular old bowl from the kitchen. This one is for crème brûlées, and it's just so much easier to carry uneven glassware with. Next up is high tray carrying. This skill is only acquired by practice and repetition. Start by carrying low but heavy objects at home or when it's slow at work. I have a few tumbler glasses here filled with water. We can also add a bottle because it's heavier. And for the bottle not to drop or tilt over, I'm just placing the glasses around it. I used to work in Marbella back in the day with my older brother, and we'd work in nightclubs doing bottle service, as you can see from the photos. Proof that I also used to have to handle loads of coconuts. Anyways, back to high traying. Load the tray with low and heavy objects, carry for a few minutes every day, and I promise in 2 weeks you'll have good balance. I've seen waiters with no experience become good at this in less than a week. And if you master this, tips will increase, since not a lot of people have the patience or the motivation to actually become good at this. So why you need to practice this is because your shoulders need to become used to the weight, and the more you move in like weird positions, the more comfortable you will be when someone bumps into you or you need to like avoid something. When guests see you working like this, they will be impressed. Your free hand can light people's cigarettes or pull out chairs for the ladies, and so on, just taking your level of service to new heights. The balance comes not from trying to hold the tray straight all the time, but from going with the flow. People will bump into you and you have to counter that somehow. So practice big moves and get used to the movement. Don't be afraid to drop it. I'm using real glassware, but you can obviously just do this with soda cans or plastic bottles or whatever you have at home. But always keep doing this movement and you'll be used to high traying in no time. The proper technique to unload the tray is from the front to back with your lightest items first, if possible. If your arm is about to fall off because you're at the end of your shift and tired, you can politely hand the drink to the guest. Madam, your drink, and she'll just take it from you. And you don't have to stretch and put it down on the table. Monsieur, your drink? In some countries, the guest expects you to arrive with the bottle of spirits and serve them in front of them. Because, well, if you pour the spirits in the back, who knows if it's from a fake type of gin or whatever. So you need to practice also doing this in front of the guest. And then obviously bring 2 bottles of tonic and then handing it to the guest. Also, as a bonus, if you try to spin the tray, you'll get better at the whole balance thing. And this takes about a week, so just keep spinning it. And once you find the middle point with your finger, that will improve your balance greatly. This is all I have to say this time, but we'll keep updating the videos as long as you have need for new answers. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, as this greatly motivates us to keep posting new content. Thank you. See you next time. Bounce, you're more likely to not drop the glasses. Okay, so if I move in this way, the tray with you. Hi. You asked me in the comments if I could explain how to carry a tray. Now, we did learn in the shorts how to load a tray. To carry a tray properly, you need to hold the tray with 4 fingers. 4 fingers gives you more flexibility to move your wrist. So we'll load up our tray, and carrying it is fairly simple. You should twist your body and not move the tray that much. Your balance is affected by how far your arm is from your body. So keep your arm tucked in, close to your body, and rotate your whole body. Hold the tray like this and rotate the whole body. Don't move the arm. You know, your wrist is not as strong as the whole body. Okay, now if you need to move with the tray and you do this motion, you see how the glasses fall just right off. But you can move fast if you tilt the tray slightly towards the direction you're moving. So if I move in this way, it's going to be hard to keep them on the tray. Tilt the tray slightly in the direction that you're moving. Okay, so let's do an extreme example. If you need to go high, then you need to use the 4 fingers. And if you're walking with the tray, bounce the tray with you, because if your body moves, then the liquid will automatically balance itself out, and you're more likely to not drop the glasses. So as long as I keep moving my whole body, you see the glasses are like not falling off. And so tilt the tray towards the direction in which you're moving. I hope this teaches you something, and you need to practice at home really for it to work properly. Okay, good luck. Like and subscribe. To make them feel understood, you can just say, that is certainly something that I've done many times before. But actually, they don't even know you. If the chef did something or the owner did something, just say, I'm sorry. Today we'll be talking about how to handle difficult guests. Step 1, active listening. You need to listen to what they have to say. Let them speak without interrupting. To make them feel understood, you can just say, I understand, or I'm sorry to hear that. I will go check on that for you right now. Make them feel like you've actually heard what they said. Point number 2, stay calm and remain positive. It's often the case that a guest can make you uncomfortable and you feel like they're attacking you, but actually they don't even know you. So you just need to listen to what they have to say, stay positive and thinking about resolving the situation, finding a solution to the problem. Step 3, apologize even if it's not your fault. I mean, if the chef did something or the owner did something, just say, I'm sorry, and it'll go away. You don't have to take it so personal. Now, step 4, empowerment. You might not be the owner. Maybe you don't feel like you can buy the customer a drink or give them a percentage of their bill. But sometimes to solve the problem, you need to do that. You need to take charge of the situation. Is it fair for me to comp a few drinks off their bill just to make them happy and to not get a 1-star review on TripAdvisor? Maybe it is. That is certainly something that I've done many times before. Number 5, offer solutions. After understanding the guest's concern, you can offer practical solutions. Be honest about what you can do and not do. Number 6, look for feedback. After the issue has been resolved, ask the guest, what could we do better next time? And they will most likely come up with a solution to avoid the whole situation next time. That's all I had to say about difficult guests. If you have any topics that you would like me to cover, please write so in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Okay, that's it for today. Bye. That will also make people like you, and they just feel so much more special. Before they ask you about it, you already provided them with that. Just to make it feel like, oh, this waiter, and adopting these methods will guarantee. Today, we'll be talking about how to increase your tips. I've worked in the hospitality industry for 16 plus years. I'll be sharing my tips and tricks on how to make the guest experience more pleasurable for them. Tip 1, be positive. Pay the guest a compliment. Give them a compliment on their scarf color, their tie. Take their coats, pull out their chair. There's lots of things you can do to be positive. Tip 2 is you need to provide exceptional service. Give them what they need before they know they need it. For example, if you're working in the terrace and you see that a guest is on their way to taking a cigarette from their package up to their mouth, you can instantly be there with a lighter, and thus they don't have to use their own lighter. That's just a small thing that you can do. If they have a bottle of wine, always keep the guest glasses topped up. If you know that they are turning up to the restaurant with a child, if the booking says so, you can beforehand prep a chair for the child, get some coloring books, pen and paper, you know, things that the guest will need. Before they ask you about it, you already provided them with that. That's exceptional service. Step 3, personalize the guest's experience. If it's a regular, try to remember their dog's name, their children's name, just to make it feel like, oh, this waiter, he remembers me. And they just feel so much more special. You can probably put information into the bookings that tells you like, okay, how many times have they been here before? If you have a system where you can organize that, that'd be great. For like somebody else that is new can easily say to that guest, welcome back. Step 4, be knowledgeable. If you know everything about the menu, then you don't have to go and ask all the time. That's bad service. For you not to know what's in a dry martini or an amaretto sour, that's not good service. So always be knowledgeable about the menu, know what everything tastes like, know how long everything is gonna take. So if there's a couple, she orders a starter and they both order main courses, ask them, would you like me to bring out the starter first and wait until you finish the starter to bring out the main course, or would you like me to just bring it out as it finishes up from the kitchen? Always communicate with your guests. That way they will appreciate all the effort you put into their experience. Tip 5. Make sure that your clothes are clean and not broken or teared or whatever. Please put some hair gel in your hair and make an effort to just be presentable. And that will also make people like you. I know it sounds weird, but if you make an effort to look good and feel good, then that translates into more tips, I promise. If you're not making a lot of tips, and adopting these methods will guaranteed give you more tips. Thank you for today. Don't forget to comment if you'd like me to talk about any other subjects, and subscribe and like this video. Thank you very much. Bye. See how it's gonna tip over? If the guest is sitting here, easiest way to unload a tray. Hi, so I taught you in a shorts how to load the tray, and I'm going to teach you how to unload a tray. Now, in some restaurants, it's really important that you serve the guests from the right. So if the guest is sitting here, you come from behind and you serve them from the right. Okay. So the easiest way to unload a tray is to keep the majority of the weight closest to the hand in the back of the tray. Okay. So if I have all the weight in the front, see how it's gonna tip over? So I need to put it in the back. Okay, this is where I have my balance now. The heaviest item is placed here. So now I can just unload the small items with relative ease. And then the last, most heavy item, I can unload pretty easily. So when I load it, I put the heaviest one there, and then a lighter one there, and let's say I would have 7 glasses, I would load it around like that, not like randomly doing zigzagging during the load up. And so when I unload from this end going that way. So I unload from here, and the next glass, if I had more glasses, it would be unloading from there, going all the way around, and then the last item is the heaviest. So that's how you unload a tray. Like and subscribe. I'll be giving you my best tips on the fastest way to memorize the whole menu. We enjoy making these videos for you, and if you would be so kind and leave a like and a subscribe to our channel, this would greatly help us make more videos. Let's get started. If you're knowledgeable on the menu, your tips will increase, as you'll be able to faster answer questions at the table about allergies, food and wine pairings. And also you'll be better equipped to guide the guests that don't have a lot of experience in dining out. Meeting the expectations of the guests rather than excusing yourself to ask the kitchen or the bar every time a question arises will greatly increase your tips, and as a long-term bonus, the more you know, the easier it'll be to change jobs or get promoted. It will be as all the knowledge is applicable to future jobs. Food knowledge. Speaking with the chefs and trying out the menu yourself is the fastest way to learn. Not only will the written information now be imprinted in your mind with the flavor, but also an image of what the dish looks like. Talk with the chefs before service on how the stock is made, for example. All chefs have their unique spin on how to make red wine sauce. If your job does not provide a menu tasting every time they change the menu, you can visit your work as a guest with some friends and try a few of the dishes. This will also provide you insight on the atmosphere and the experience a guest has. I know that this could be expensive for you, but if you have more knowledge about the menu, you will make up for this with tips. To learn the drinks menu fast, you need to try all the wine. For example, every bottle that you open and serve, save an ounce or a few centiliters for yourself and try before you serve the guests. Do this in the back and not in front of the guests. You'll be surprised at how fast you will learn just by tasting small amounts. If your restaurant has a sommelier, they will gladly educate you on the wine list, because ultimately you will be able to sell more expensive wines if you have more knowledge. And this is to the sommelier's advantage. For cocktails, ask the bartender to set aside a small amount for you after every shake and drink. Speak with the bartender before service to get to know the spirits and ask if they can provide you with a few minutes of their time to explain why the cocktails are composed in their particular fashion. Ask if you can smell the spirits from the bottle, just to get an idea of the aromas and flavors in the drinks. In this channel, we won't cover wines just yet, but I recommend that you type the grape variety in on YouTube, and there will be plenty of videos covering the origins of the grapes, what they taste like, and what food they go well with. This is also applicable to spirits. These things are what I do whenever I change jobs, and I'm usually up and running in a week or so. Thank you for watching, and I would appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Leave comments with requests below and we'll address your questions. See you in the next video. Today we'll be talking about mocktails, and mocktails means non-alcoholic cocktails. So we'll be focusing on three main categories, which is a fizzy mocktail, a sour mocktail, and a long mocktail. So let's start with the fizzy mocktail. We're going to make this fizzy mocktail with raspberry flavors. To make this fizzy cocktail, we're going to process the raspberries in a food blender. We have one right here. And so we stick the raspberries into it. So now we have a finished raspberry puree that we'll use in the cocktail. So first of all, we're gonna fill the glass with ice. And for this cocktail, the measurements are as follows: 4 centiliters of lemon juice, 4 centiliters of your puree, and 2 centiliters of your sugar syrup. It's just sugar and water. Twirl it around like this for it to mix. And lastly, we're going to top it off with some sparkling water. And this cocktail is best enjoyed with a straw. To recap, make puree of your raspberries, add 4 centiliters of lemon juice, 4 centiliters of the raspberry puree, and 2 centiliters of sugar syrup, and top it off with sparkling water, and you have a fizzy mocktail. Guys, let's take a break from the video. Let me tell you about our newest thing, and that is that we're starting an online academy, and we want you to join us. Go to waitertips.academy and I'll see you there. And now we're going to make a sour cocktail. So for this cocktail we have mango, which we're going to blend. And you don't need fresh mangoes. You can just buy frozen mangoes. We're gonna add a bit of water and some sugar. And look, the measurements, you can play around with the measurements. If you like your mango cocktail sweet, okay, add more sugar. Now we have mango puree. And for this cocktail, we're going to shake it. Okay, so we need ice. We need our mango puree. Let's do 8 centiliters because we want a lot of mango flavor. And lemon juice, 4 centiliters. And sugar will do also 4. Why the hell not? And let's shake. Let's strain this into the glass. And now we have a sour mocktail. To recap, 8 centiliters of mango puree, 4 centiliters of the lemon juice, and 4 centiliters of the sugar syrup. We're going to make a long mocktail, a blueberry sugar syrup. To make a sugar syrup, first we need to combine water and sugar equal parts together with the flavor that we want, and we need to heat this so it mixes well. So first off, we're going to pour the blueberries into here, and we're going to mash them inside the pot. Mashing them brings out more flavor. Now let's pour the sugar in. Stir it around. And now the water. And let's bring this to boil. So we boiled the blueberries with sugar and water, equal parts sugar and water. That means we used, for this amount, we used 1 deciliter of sugar and 1 deciliter of water, and roughly 1 deciliter of blueberries. Now we have this blueberry syrup. So to make our long drink, first we need some ice. Fill it all the way up. Now we're going to take 4 centiliters of this blueberry syrup. Look at that. Now 4 centiliters of lemon juice. Ooh, that's good. And we're gonna top it up with some water. And now we have a perfect long drink with blueberry flavor. So each of these drinks that we just made took about a minute to make. This one took a bit longer because we needed to make the actual blueberry syrup. But otherwise, it's a minute per mocktail. If you're able to pre-mix all the mango, all the raspberries, and you can put it in bottles, you can easily mix the cocktails in 30 seconds. Easily. We have an academy going, and to access our academy, I'm going to show you on my cell phone how to take the next step. You're going to want to go to www.waitertips.academy, like that. Okay. Here is our landing page where you can sign up. So I'm going to input my email address and press the button. From here, we can join the Facebook club and get an ebook with lots of tips on how to be a better waiter. So this is our Facebook group, which you need to join and apply for. And down here we have our ebook that you can get when you apply. Contains several pages of great tips on how to become a better waiter. And also don't forget to join the Kickstarter and get notified when we go live, so that you can get the best prices on our online academy. I really look forward to seeing you in our online waiters academy, but make sure to join our Facebook group where like-minded people that are passionate just like you can share tips and build a nice community. Maybe even offer each other jobs, things like that. Thank you for watching this episode. Subscribe to us, like this episode, and please leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.